And now for our next news special report.
In the tempestuous arena of modern politics, former President Donald J. Trump finds himself once more in the spotlight, not for policies or rallies, but due to legal challenges. But is this all about justice, or is there more tactical game at play? Our exclusive video segment will showcase candid responses from Trump himself and insights from his lawyer. What they reveal may shock you, raising even bigger questions about the intent of the New York Attorney General's pursuits. As we dive deeper into this complex narrative, be sure not to miss our final thought towards the end, a reflection that might just change how you view the American Republic today. Good evening, folks. Gary Franchi here. Tonight we're diving deep into the intricacies of the political and legal tempest swirling in New York City. It's impossible to discuss modern American politics without mentioning Donald Trump. Regardless of your stance on his policies or persona, there's no denying his knack for making headlines. Freshly caught in a media maelstrom, the former president was recently seen stepping assertively outside a Manhattan courtroom. His criticisms, as fiery and as unbridled as ever, set the news cycle ablaze, cementing his role as a polarizing figure in today's socio-political landscape. Take a look.
If Jordan gets the speakership, Mr. President, what are your thoughts on the trial so far? You've been listening to the witness testimony.
The trial is going very well, but we don't have a jury. So I have no idea what happens with this. The trial's going very well. Deutsche Bank testified that, first of all, the loans were paid off. There was no default. There was no problem. There's no victim except me. I'm the victim here. There's no victim. There's no victim whatsoever. This is just a witch hunt by an attorney general that ran for governor and failed. She used me because she ran for governor and she failed. There were no defaults. Every loan was perfect. They were all paid off. If they ever did this to anybody else, any other business person, what they would find would be ridiculous. You know what they find with us? Nothing. There's nothing. The loans were perfect. The loans were paid off. All interest was paid. There was no defaults. I never even received a default letter. And I got plaques and trophies from the institutions in many cases for having done such a good job, which we're going to be presenting in trial. This is just a railroad job. It's a witch hunt with no jury, and it's a runaway freight train, and it's a disgrace. And any business that moved into New York should not do it. You should stay the hell out of here, because I'll tell you what, this is a corrupt system that we're in.
Why do you think your family is being persecuted? What do you think about Cohen not being
I'll tell you what, Cohen didn't have the guts, but I'll tell you why my family is being persecuted.
Yes,
because I'm leading in the polls against Biden by a lot. You saw Washington Post the other day came out, ABC fake news. Maybe it is fake, I don't know. But we were leading by 10 or 11 points. Yesterday another one came out, we're leading Biden by 6 points. And that's why. And we're leading the Republicans, we're leading the Sanctimonious by 60 points, 60 points more. And that's why this is happening. If this weren't happening, if I weren't running for president and doing so well, winning, it wouldn't be happening. You know what happened in 2016? And you know what happened in 2020? We did much better in 2020 than we did in 2016. Getting millions and millions more votes. People don't like to talk about that. But got millions and millions more votes. That's why this is happening. That's the only reason it's happening. I hope that, for Speaker, I hope that Jim is doing well. You'll have to tell me I've been wasting time on a railroaded court. I should be entitled, excuse me, I should be entitled to a jury, like anybody else is entitled to a jury. But this case should have never been brought. It's an insult. Remember this, the financial statements are very conservative. The real numbers are more. They're conservative financial. They said, oh, the financial statements are valued higher. The financial statements are at a lower number. They're conservative. So there is no fraud. Number two, we have a reliance clause. We have what's called a disclaimer right up front, all over it, all over the financial. It says don't rely on these financial statements. Do your own due diligence. Do your own analysis. So there's no fraud. And number three, I said before, I'm being tried under a statute that nobody has ever been tried under. That doesn't give me a jury, that doesn't give me any rights whatsoever. They can do whatever they want, and it's a disgrace. Now it's turned out that I have great financial statements. It's turned out that the company is worth much more than the financial statements. They were saying just the opposite. They valued things at ridiculous numbers, like Mar-a-Lago at $18 million, when it's worth perhaps 100 times that amount. Perhaps 100 times. The fact is we have a corrupt legal system in New York City and New York State. And you know what? We have a corrupt legal system in our country. The DOJ is corrupt, and they're leading this whole thing for election interference. Thank you very much.
Are you going to come back and waste your time again, sir? Are you coming back tomorrow?
The video showcases Trump at his most candid. He categorically refutes any financial misgivings, stating that all loans were fully serviced. Trump's fervent use of the term witch hunt paints a vivid picture of his perceived persecution. His reference to a runaway freight train seems to not only describe this legal battle, but personally symbolizes his view of the current political climate. Yet it wasn't just Trump's words that reverberated across the city's skyscrapers. Alina Habba, the legal eagle championing his cause, amplified the courtroom's echoes with her own comments. Standing tall beside her former client, she wasn't merely content playing second fiddle. She emerged from the shadows, casting her own critical spotlight onto New York Attorney General Letitia James. Take a look.
So I'm going to take some questions, but first I want to add some color to what my client has said. This has been publicly filed. It is exactly the waiver that he has referred to in the Statement of Financial Conditions, and I want to understand how clear it is. It states such valuation methods include but are not limited to the use of appraisals, capitalization of anticipated earnings, recent sales and offers, estimates of current values as determined by Mr. Trump in conjunction with his associates and in some instances, outside professionals. Considerable judgment is necessary to interpret market data and develop the related estimates of current value. Accordingly, the estimates presented herein are not necessarily indicative of the amounts that could be realized upon the disposition of the assets or payment of the related liabilities. The use of different market assumptions and/or estimation methodologies may have a material effect on the estimated current value amounts. Let me explain to you what that is. That is on the Weiser-Mazar Statement of Financial Condition in the front that is always provided to everyone. We have heard numerous witnesses come in and out of this court wasting taxpayer dollars, wasting numerous taxpayer dollars in a city that has fallen apart because they don't want to believe that any business in New York can conduct themselves without the Attorney General sticking her nose in your business with a statute that has never been used against an individual. This is a scary precedent legally for any business in New York. What is happening now is they are saying that the Attorney General is no longer going to use 6312 against consumers. She's going to come after you and your personal business, and then she will bring your children involved because of political motivation. And that is all that is here. I'll take some questions. Anybody?
Is Donald Trump going to his deposition?
Of course. He always cooperates. He will cooperate. He's going to be at that ridiculous hearing for a deposition. I'm not going to give you details of my job.
Coming back here today or no?
He's here. He's here. Yeah.
Alina, we just heard an appraiser say that you were surprised that his advice ended up on these statements of financial conditions. What does the former president have to say to that?
Well, the former president is going to say anything about it. We're going to cross-examine him, and I think that will say it all. I think you guys need to understand something. Banks hire appraisers. Everybody here knows that. Anybody here that's purchased a home or purchased anything in real estate understands a very basic thing. Let me put this whole case in plain English for you, okay? You are an individual. You go to get something appraised. You say, my house is worth X. The bank doesn't take your word for it. They hire people like that gentleman to go do their own values. Now, those values are going to be lower than the ones that the homeowner or the commercial real estate owner would use. It's very basic. Anybody watching any business television could understand or explain to you these basic principles of real estate. But the point is that's not what this is about. That is not what this case is about. It has nothing to do with this, because the statement of financial condition was actually low. The statement of financial condition didn't include President Trump's brand. The statement of financial condition does not include the big picture. If you take Trump Tower and you take the Trump name off of that building and you put Letitia James's name on that building, it will not be worth what it is worth when Donald Trump owns it.
Do you have a sense of when the former president will be testifying in this trial?
When they call him, he will come up and testify. Thank you.
Wow. A potent blend of legal acumen and unabashed confidence. Habba questioned the very fabric of the New York justice system, accusing James of overstepping her boundaries and insinuating personal vendettas might be influencing the trial. Habba's words serve as a clarion call for many who question the impartiality of justice. Now let's pivot momentarily. In this whirlwind of legal disputes and political power plays, stability and certainty are often sought and yet rarely found. Be it the volatility of court decisions or the unpredictability of the stock market, the parallels are clear. Enter Noble Gold Investments, the anchor amidst these turbulent times. The firm comprehends the ebb and flow of financial fortunes and has a proven track record and to be a bedrock for countless clients seeking solace in the storm. Take a moment to hear what clients are saying. With Noble Gold, I have found my financial compass, or their team is the ally you want in the economic battleground. Like having a seasoned attorney navigating the legal maze, Noble Gold provides expert guidance in the intricate world of investments. And currently they're offering a complimentary 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful bullion coin for qualifying accounts. So if you're seeking a haven in the financial fray, visit nextnewsgold.com. They are the gold standard in trustworthiness. Now, reverting back to the Trump saga, it's crucial to comprehend the broader implications of this legal tussle. The crux of this dispute transcends Trump's personal finances. At its heart, it's an exploration of power dynamics and accountability. There are layers to this ongoing story. Trump's financial dealings, particularly those related to his vast real estate empire, have long been under scrutiny, from allegations of tax evasion to questions about the transparency of his financial declarations. Critics have been probing for potential discrepancies. Yet Trump and his allies maintain these probes are just the latest in a long line of politically motivated attacks aimed at tarnishing his legacy. The discourse also touches upon the pivotal role media plays in shaping public opinion. The Trump legal team's strategic decision to address the media outside the courthouse underlines their cognizance of the media's influence. By taking their case directly to the public, they're attempting to counteract any potential bias and control the narrative. Habba's commentary, which resonated so strongly, also carries with it broader implications. If the assertion that the New York legal system is susceptible to political biases holds any merit, it beckons a thorough introspection of the judiciary's role. Is the justice system truly blind, or are there unseen influences swaying the scales? And furthermore, her warnings extend beyond the immediate circle of Trump and his businesses. If New York is indeed setting a new, potentially biased precedent in its legal approach, other businesses and high-profile personalities might find themselves wary of coming under the city's judicial microscope. The latest chapter in Trump's legal odyssey is more than just another courtroom drama. It's emblematic of the greater socio-political tapestry of the United States. The outcome of this legal confrontation, irrespective of the verdict, will undoubtedly shape the national discourse for years to come. As we continue to follow this saga, we're reminded that the threads of politics, law, and media are intricately woven, each influencing the trajectory of the other. So as we've journeyed through the intertwining paths of politics and justice, a chilling question lingers. Are we as a society allowing political battles to overshadow genuine legal concerns? The relentless legal pursuits against Trump might not be simple justice, but a broader political play. The moves by the New York Attorney General and certain factions within the political arena could be perceived as maneuvers to ensure a future without Trump's political influence. Such tactics, if true, erode the core of our values as a nation, where every individual, regardless of stature or affiliation, deserves impartiality. As 2024 draws near, distinguishing between honest legal confrontations and politically motivated tactics becomes more crucial than ever. Our republic demands it.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.